I ask you, MJD, so far with what we've got in this landscape, which QB on a new squad sort of sticks out to you the most?
Matt Ryan. I love this move for Chris Ballard and the Indianapolis Colts. I thought that Matt Ryan was a phenomenal player once kind of the Deshaun Watson started to go in and we started hearing Matt Ryan could come available. I was like, oh, the Colts have to get him, right? Again, the Colts are built to win now. They're built to, they don't even need to have these all-star quarterbacks because they're so evenly balanced on both sides of the ball. And they have draft picks to draft other wide receivers and other linemen if they want in the top 3 rounds. So they have the capital, they have the money, and now they have the quarterback to kind of run things. And obviously, if you look at these guys, look, Andrew Luck, you know, you wish he was still there. You would have hoped to him to still be playing, but Jacoby Brissett, Phillip Rivers was a rental. Carson Wentz, you tried that, it didn't work out. The most stable guy you have right now is Matt Ryan, and he's still one of the, I know he's still one of the top quarterbacks in the National Football League to lead a team to the playoff run and possibly a championship.
Yeah, I mean, look at what Matt Ryan did last year. He loses Calvin Ridley in the middle of the season. His best running back was a wide receiver, and he's still out there throwing for nearly 4,000 yards. I think Matt Ryan's game was a little bit better than his numbers last year, but now he's got a shot in Indy. He's not the most dynamic, mind-blowing player or addition for the Colts. Maybe that's not how they do things. Now, if you want something a little more mind-blowing, by far the most intriguing quarterback for me is Deshaun Watson for a bunch of different reasons. We talked about this a lot yesterday. First and foremost, I mean, off the field, how is this thing going to go? What is he going to say when the moment comes in a press conference or multiple press conferences where he's asked pointed questions by media members about off-the-field stuff and 22 different women? I mean, it's coming, and it should come. What is he going to say to that? How's he going to handle it? Is he just going to go with the cliche? Because it's going to be relentless in the media room, on the road. I want to know what the plan is for that and what he's going to have to say for it. And then secondly, just in the football, how great is he going to be? Because he was objectively brilliant the last time we saw him on a terrible, terrible Texans team. He was spectacular. Optics-wise, statistic-wise, he just did everything you could possibly do. And yet, my take yesterday was with what the Browns paid for him, both in actual capital and everything from respect to dignity to so on and so forth, he better be brilliant. Brilliant. He better be way better than Baker Mayfield. He better be one of the top 5 guys in the league. Otherwise, why did you spend all that stuff? Why did you take the hit that you're going to continue to take PR-wise? If the Browns next year are 7-10 and their quarterback is AFC Kyler Murray, what was the point? That's not good enough. That's not nearly good enough. So a million questions to be answered for him from all different parts of his life in this league everywhere, not the least of which is in the PR perspective and on the field where I need a top 5 guy out of him next year or I'm not sure what the Browns did that for.
Well said.
I'm most intrigued by Russell Wilson. Sorry, Kay, go ahead.
No, I just said, I was just tagging it with a well said, Pelissero. Rock on. I just, Church of Kyle Brandt, I'm there.
I am most intrigued by Russell Wilson going to Denver. You go back to the 2020 season. He was playing at what a lot of people regarded as an MVP level the first half of the season. Then starts turning over the football. Pete Carroll goes back to the running game, comes out last season, and look at the numbers on Russell Wilson in 2021. Granted, this is impacted by him having that weird finger injury where it's fractured in 2 places, and he's got to get surgery, get the pin put in. Maybe came back a little bit too soon, but the numbers aren't good. You go back over the last 20 games, it's the underrated part of this entire trade. Russell Wilson has not looked like Russell Wilson. Well, a fresh start can be really good for people, particularly when you're paired with a head coach like Nathaniel Hackett. Broncos making a big bet on this. 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. Their quarterback, Drew Lock, a couple of other players, all going for one player who has always envisioned himself, Russell Wilson has, as an MVP. Yet he's never gotten a vote. He envisions himself as a Hall of Famer. You can debate his resume at this point. He's always said he wants to win a bunch of championships. He's won 1. And none of that is a slight against Russell Wilson. It's just the reality of the situation here is he's at a pivot point in his career. He's going to a place where he's going to be surrounded by talent in a really, really difficult division. Let's see what Russell Wilson we get in 2022. Denver betting big. It's going to be the best one.
It's so true. At Jimothy with your thoughts. Kyle, I kind of want you to come on board with me and be foolishly optimistic and romantic and naive maybe. And I just love a second act. I love a redemption story. I'm Pollyanna in that way. And when it comes to Mitchell Trubisky and these Pittsburgh Steelers, I was the same way with Ryan Tannehill. Get him away from what he was used to, give him some stability, give him some upgrades around him. And after a year of backing up Josh Allen in Buffalo and admitting, after you so savvily pointed out, it's probably a good thing he sat and, learned from Allen, learned from Brian Dable. He's now getting a chance to rewrite his narrative in a great situation in Pittsburgh. He admits, I needed the year. I needed to sit. I needed to learn. He's an adult now, baby on the way, married, or if not, or about to get married. I think maybe he is married. But he's a different. We've watched him grow up, Kyle, you and I, in front of our eyes here. He gets to go to a team that always has a winning record. And I know it's a totally loaded division, Burrow and Watson and Lamar Jackson. Massive story if he can somehow pull it off, though, right? Why not cheer for this? They were able to make it happen last year with Ben Roethlisberger. They haven't lost in 15 seasons with Tomlin at the helm. I just am not counting them out this season, regardless of how good that division is. Will you come along on this journey with me of just in a vacuum rooting for the second act for Trubisky?
Yeah, and I feel like as a show, I feel like we came up with Trubisky. I feel like we have a lot of equity in Trubisky. So what I don't understand is no matter what you may think about Mitch Trubisky as a player, I don't understand everyone making jokes at his expense and poking fun at him. He's never said anything wrong. All he does is work his butt off, try to be a great teammate. He didn't give himself the Nickelodeon Award, okay? I understand, the MVP. He just played the best he could. He lost in New Orleans, and all the people online decided to be funny to give it to him. He can't untake that award. So make all the MVP jokes you want, but I love a second act. I'm looking for the full John Travolta Pulp Fiction, Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man. That's what they're looking for in Pittsburgh, which is a city known for steel. Let's go.
I just have to have a question.
MJD, thoughts on Mitchell Trubisky?
Yeah, my question is, Kay, after all this Bengals love you've been getting, how do you jump across the state to Pittsburgh? What is going on?
I'm not jumping. I love the Bengals there. I don't think they're getting enough respect. I don't think there's an AFC championship team outside of maybe the Jags in 2017 that gets less respect than the Bengals do going into 2022. I gave them so much credit yesterday for all the moves that they made. I think the Steelers with Mitchell Trubisky, and God knows what they do in the draft. Mike Tomlin was at Pickett's pro day yesterday. They're probably not done. I don't like it in general, and Kyle will tell you this with 6 years of a rap sheet from it. I don't like it when teams are disrespected for no reason. It's a very lazy thing to say. He's the worst quarterback. He hasn't done anything. He's only 27. I don't think we know what he is. So Mitchell Trubisky, someone I defended all of his years in Chicago, will certainly have my eyes and my support wherever he is, whether it's Pittsburgh, whether it's Green Bay, whether it's anywhere. I really am rooting for a second act for him. Do I want them to beat the Bengals? No, of course not.